It seems to me that theatre in Singapore, we are depending on people's passion to keep it going rather than a system supporting it.
Maybe there are chances in Mumbai wherein you land up character roles and you still get paid for it. I feel that we are all working out of passion. There is actually no payment, be it a producer, a director, or an actor.
I think the first step in this journey is to understand what is your dream, what is your passion, what makes you happy. And from my personal experience, I can tell you that's not an easy question to answer. Now, let's assume that you have figured out what's your dream. Then I believe that you need to make a plan to achieve that dream. And then you need to work hard to make that plan a reality.
Hello and welcome to the Dreamcatchers show brought to you by Vatan Se, where we'll capture inspiring stories one dream at a time. Hosted by yours truly, Shalima Motial. Associate sponsors, Singh Advisor, Satvik Certification Singapore, Fashion Partners, Kosha Sarees, Media Partners, Crazy Talk. And today our guest is Mr. Indranil Banerjee. He's an inspirational IT and business transformation leader. He juggles both his corporate and passion very well. Now you must be wondering, what is this passion? His passion is theatre. He's a very talented producer, director, actor, and he does all these roles brilliantly. Now, being a producer and actor myself, I know it's not an easy job, right? So let's hear directly from him about his experiences. He is coming up with a production in April called Mosaic by Open Stage. And I am as excited as I know you all will be to watch all these 4 plays that are coming up very soon. So without further ado, please help me welcome Mr. Indranil Banerjee. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Shalima. Thank you very much.
So let's start with, since we're talking about theatre, when did the acting bug bite you?
So, I went to a boarding school since I was in 4th grade. It was a boys' school and I did all the way to high school. And then I started IIT Kharagpur.
Okay.
300 guys, 4 girls.
Whoa.
Stiff competition. Now, when I was in the school, I was actually a lot into sports, but I was never into any cultural activities.
Interesting.
When I came into IIT, I understood all the skills that I have in the football field, in the cricket ground, table tennis board. It's not adding any value. The girls just don't show up at the sports. So then I looked around and I saw that the girls are a lot into theatre. So we had something called TDS, Technology Drama Society.
Okay.
And the girls were flocking there. So that's how I went into theatre. My first theatre in IIT, I had a small but impactful role. And then I never looked back. I should also tell you that this love for theatre, I will possibly have till I leave.
Wow.
I actually met my wife on the theatre stage at IIT.
Wow.
So it has given me a lot.
Incredible. I thought you will come up with the same cliche, I was born to be an actor or director. No, but it was the love of attention of girls that brought you onto the stage.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So was that the first play then you acted in?
No, actually not. What I remember, the first play that I acted was when I was in my 4th standard. You remember, I told you that I went to a boarding school when I was in my 4th grade. So it was a play by Sharat Chandra Chatterjee, a famous play. And I don't remember, I think I had the role of the protagonist or one of his very close friends.
Okay.
What I remember about that play was that I had to be bare-bodied for that play, and I just hated it.
Right. You must be like, what, 8 or 9 years old?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
And I was teased a lot by my friends, and that was the end of my theatre journey in schools.
Okay. And then, when did you direct your first play then?
I directed my first play in IIT. That's
Okay.
about an year and a half after I started my theatre journey. I actually co-directed this with a very close friend of mine. So both of us directed this theatre, and we had very, how should I say, people who were not there on the stage in IIT before, that kind of group.
Okay.
And I remember that play actually got a few awards.
Wow.
So it got the Best Actor Award, and if I remember correctly, it also got the second best play. So that allowed us to represent IIT in some of these college fests.
Lovely.
So that's what I remember.
And how did the switch from being an actor came about, to being a director?
Actually, I was supposed to act in that play.
Okay.
But what happens is that when you are a director of a play, you are kind of the captain of the ship, right?
Absolutely.
And you are trying to balance out the cast that you have, how they match with the characters, right?
Absolutely.
So even though I was supposed to be part of that play, and acting was my passion, still is, I didn't act in that play.
Right.
So it was a breakaway group from the Technology Drama Society, and that was what resulted in me directing that play.
Right. And what do you like more? Do you like acting more? Do you like directing more?
I think I like acting more than direction.
Interesting. Okay. And do you have a reason why?
I don't know, but haven't really thought deeply about it. But when you asked me,
Right.
and I was trying to process it quickly in my head, so it was more a reaction, not a response.
Right, right.
But what came out from me was that, yeah, I think I love acting more than direction.
Right. Interesting. Okay. So where were you born and raised?
I was born in India, in West Bengal. Like I mentioned, went to a boarding school,
Right.
fourth standard, did my IIT. I worked in India for some time.
Okay.
I had the opportunity to work with some of the big brands in India, ITC, Coopers and Lybrand, Ariba. And then I moved out of India.
Right. So when you were in India, were you doing theatre that time as well?
I was doing theatre
Oh, interesting.
that time as well.
And what language?
Basically a mix of Hindi, English, and Bengali.
Oh, lovely. So all three languages proficient
Yes,
in.
but it was, I would say, less frequent than what I do in Singapore.
Right.
So once, like in India, I was moving around quite a bit.
Okay.
So when you are at a place like in Singapore, you are here,
Right.
it helps you to develop a team, right? So I would say that it's easier for me to do theatre in
Right.
Singapore. But yes, I continued doing theatre after I came out of my college.
Lovely. So it's been like a long journey of performing arts for you, right? Do you write scripts as well?
No, I don't write scripts.
Okay.
Or let's say, I haven't written any scripts yet.
Okay, okay. So I am very excited about your upcoming project, which is Mosaic. It's 4 short different plays directed by 4 hugely talented directors. And I've had the opportunity to go through the synopsis. And each one of them is so intriguing and so interesting that I can't wait to watch them. But I want to hear from you about each and every play. So please fill our audiences in about what should they expect when they come to watch Mosaic.
Thank you, thank you. Actually, I'm really excited about this Mosaic. So what we are trying to do, like you said, that we have these 4 different directors, hugely talented, and we are trying to put them together. And if you look at these directors, they come from very different backgrounds.
Okay.
And what we are aiming at is having a mosaic of emotions, right? We are staging this at Black Box at Drama Center at NLB.
Okay.
And we are staging it from 25th to 28th of April. 4
Lovely.
days,
Okay.
6 shows.
Okay.
So Thursday and Friday, these are evening shows, and then Saturday and Sunday are matinee and evening shows.
Matinee and evening shows, okay?
Do you want me to give a bit about the stories of the...
Absolutely. Why not? Let the audience know what they're coming in for.
So the first play is Circuit.
Okay.
And it's directed by Elni. This is actually a collaboration between Open Stage
Right.
and ITE Theatrical Ensemble.
Okay.
So Elni is actually presenting the ITE students, and the story is about the societal shift and the personal struggle that people went through during COVID-19.
Okay.
And more importantly, the human resilience to adapt and overcome it.
Right.
So this particular collaboration that I talked about, we believe that it's an opportunity for us in Open Stage as well as for our viewers to experience the perspective from a very different generation.
Right. Right. Right.
And what we are trying to offer them in return is an exposure to commercial theatre.
Interesting.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The
So
second
these are
thing-
students, right?
They are students, a very different age group, different perspective, right?
Right. Yeah.
From what we are usually used
Right.
to, right? The second play is from a local theatre group, the Misfit Indigos.
Okay.
The play is named Chocolate. And it's a story of a person called Et who has come back home after a long stint abroad to take care of his ailing father. And the story talks about his struggle to find the truth about his childhood.
Okay.
The third play is directed by Yogesh. Both you and I
Absolutely.
know about him.
Yes. Very talented.
Very talented, right? So Yogesh is directing a play called Caught in the Act.
Okay. Sounds interesting by the name of it only.
It is interesting. Actually, it is about two characters who are characters in a script in a play,
Okay.
right? And it's a comedy which talks about their struggle to manage the changing script.
Okay.
So that's what the play is about.
Very interesting. So
Interesting.
are they going to break the fourth wall and then interact with the audience in the process, or?
And that will be something that Yogesh will kill me if I get into more details.
Okay, okay.
So I will
We'll leave
there.
it for the audience to come and then see what Yogesh does with it, right? Okay.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
the fourth one is directed by you.
The fourth one is a home production by Open Stage, and it's
Okay.
directed by me. It's My Dear Arvind. Or some of your viewers might have seen Millie and Love at 35,000 Feet.
Yes.
So Tanuj and I had collaborated, right, in those programs. Tanuj as the scriptwriter and I
Yes.
as the director. So Tanuj and I are teaming up again
Right.
for this My Dear Arvind for Mosaic. It's actually a difficult play.
Okay.
It's about a soliloquy of a wheelchair-bound lady.
Oh.
It's a tale of love, passion, romance, and I think I should leave something for the show days.
Right. Absolutely. Lovely. So, just the gist of all these four plays has already got me intrigued and I want to go watch them. So, audiences, please book your tickets. The link is right there. And you have no excuse because there are 6 shows happening from 25th to 28th April. Now, tell me something. One is a student-based play. The others will have actors who are probably in the corporate field, right? So, or are they actors, professional actors?
It's a mix, Shalima. So yes, you are right. There are quite a few of the actors who are part of the corporate field.
Right.
But there are also other people.
Right. So how do you juggle your team, because I remember when we produced theatre, we had 60 team members, right from behind the camera to in front of the camera, 16 different nationalities. and 80% of them were corporate professionals. So managing their schedule for rehearsals and all of that, the tech runs, that was my biggest challenge. Lot of things to balance. Somehow we were fortunate, lucky. You were a part of Timeless Tales. That's where you met Tanuj and you did Love at 35,000 Feet. And thank you for coming aboard and being a part of that. Now it's your own production and you're having to deal with all that. How is it for you?
It's a challenge, like you mentioned. So the way we deal with it is possibly the way you dealt with it, is basically to be flexible.
Right.
To be honest, sincere, and try to plan as early as possible.
That's the key, I guess.
And so, when you're working with a large group like this who have multiple commitments, right? What you are trying to do is trying to be flexible as much as possible, and also trying to talk to the team, keeping the focus on the production. Because if you can make that as a single direction where all these people are moving towards, then it becomes slightly easier. But yeah, it's a challenge.
And you're a perfectionist. I know, I worked with you. So it must be like taking double the time for you.
Yes,
right?
It takes more time. And yes, it's a struggle. But, I also feel that it's not something that you cannot overcome.
Right.
It is manageable, but it's a struggle.
But at the end of the day, because there's so much passion involved, in these kind of projects, because people are coming because they want to come to be a part of the production, no matter what capacity, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, your production team and all of that. And that's what I felt when we were producing theatre and films, that people are joining us out of a place of passion. And that's what makes it manageable and doable. And the Singapore scene is amazing because everyone's connected to everyone. And I think the whole community comes and supports each other. So how do you find Singapore theatre scene versus theatre scene in India?
I can tell you that the standard of theatre in some parts of India, like Kolkata, like Mumbai, Delhi, they're fantastic. When I'm traveling back home, then I do watch some of these plays. Coming back to your question about theatre scene in Singapore, I actually think that it is quite vibrant. I see a lot of talent, in acting, in production, in direction. You have been into theatre production, right?
Yes.
It's difficult to manage theatre production in Singapore. It's expensive.
Right.
Most of the times we are struggling to break even.
Right, yeah.
And if you cannot break even, it's not sustainable.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right? So, I find it strange sometimes that with all these constraints, how people are still so much passionate and still make it, still keep it going, right?
Right.
It's something that I don't understand.
Right.
But it's something I salute to.
See, what I feel is that after COVID, the prices of all these halls that we need to hire for theatre have also gone up gigantically. So that makes it more difficult. In fact, sometimes I feel we should have a forum for all theatre personalities to come together and then decide a way forward, how to keep this alive without kind of breaking our bank balances, right? So maybe next time we all get together, we should be discussing this, how to keep theatre scene alive and kicking and not having to take so much toll on ourselves while producing it. What do you think?
Absolutely agree with it. We need to do something. So, it seems to me that we are depending on people's passion to keep it going rather than a system supporting it.
Right.
And I'm not 100% sure how sustainable that is.
Right. Also, I feel that it's not easy to make performing arts as a career in Singapore. Maybe there are chances in Mumbai wherein you land up character roles and you still get paid for it. I feel that we are all working out of passion. There is actually no payment, be it a producer, a director, or an actor, right?
I completely agree with you. You know, I talked about the production house and the struggle with the production house. Now, if you just think about that, if the production house who are paying the actors are themselves struggling to meet the ends,
Right.
how on earth are they going to pay the actors fees that help them to put food on the table?
Right.
You know, the people in Singapore who are choosing this as their profession, I believe that, you know, they could have lived a better life, earned more money if they had just chosen another profession in Singapore. So I don't understand, but I salute them, as I said.
Right. Right.
So
right.
it's passion that I think drives them to continue doing what they're doing.
Right. And then talking about passion, I guess that's what keeps you going, juggling between your professional and your life with theatre, which is your passion, right? Because I'm sure you travel a lot too.
Yes, I travel a lot. And to answer your question, I struggle.
And you're still producing, so salute to you.
So you know, I believe that if you have demanding job, which I have, and then you have a passion that also requires a lot of time,
Right.
for example, theatre production, then you need to have time management as your core competence. You need to be
Absolutely.
disciplined, right? And I'm not.
Oh, you're not?
No,
Okay.
I'm not. So I
Okay.
struggle,
Okay.
but I make it happen. I also have certain advantages. My family supports me a lot.
Lovely.
My wife, my son, they support my passion.
They're part of it as well. Mashmi acts too.
Yeah, they are part of it,
Right.
and you know, I mean, to the extent that many times when I am overwhelmed, they help me to prioritize.
Okay,
So
nice.
I have been very fortunate. The other thing that I try to do is to try to build strong team, and that I do both at work as well as in theatre.
Lovely.
I'm actually a person who is a big believer of this team philosophy. I believe that if you can build a strong team around you, you can almost achieve everything.
Wonderful.
And yeah, the last one, I always try to work with people who are smarter than me.
Very interesting. I try to do that too. So that's what we have in common. We get great teams who are equally passionate about the project we are in. And I think that's what makes working together also so much fun,
Absolutely.
right? Because then anyways, everybody's coming together because of passion. And that shared passion gets everyone involved to their best full 100% capacity. And that's what makes it fun. Because if you're not having fun, then why would you want to, you know, work at your job as well and then come and work here as well, right?
Absolutely.
That becomes double the work. Right. Now tell me something. What message would you give your 25-year-old self?
See, Shalima, I am not very good at giving messages.
Okay.
So most probably the message that I will give to my 25-year self that don't listen to this guy.
Oh God, that's funny.
But if you want an answer for me, I would possibly tell my 25-year self to try to improve on time management.
Okay.
And that will help you to put more time for your passion.
Right.
I would possibly tell my 25-year-old self to build strong teams in wherever you are. And you know, I will tell my 25-year-old self that do not focus on the constraints.
Right.
Focus on your passion. These constraints, when they come and they sort of disturb you, you are obviously, let's say, lose control on yourself. But these constraints actually help you to learn and become a better person.
Beautiful.
So focus on your passion. That will make you happy. And at the end, that's what counts.
That's what counts. For someone who doesn't have too many messages to give, you gave some brilliant messages, I think.
Okay.
So why don't you also give a shout out or message to all the audiences out there on your philosophy in life, on theater, whatever it is that you want to tell the dreamers out there, whatever message you have for them.
I think the first step in this journey is to understand what is your dream? What is your passion? What makes you happy?
Right.
And from my personal experience, I can tell you that's not an easy question to answer. Now, let's assume that you have figured out what's your dream. Then I believe that you need to make a plan to achieve that dream.
Right.
And then you need to work hard to make that plan a reality. Basically, bend your back.
Right.
And never become a slave to the plan that you have made. The plan is actually a direction. What I believe you need to do is to continuously fine-tune that plan as you progress in your journey and learn.
Nice.
So I believe the process of planning is more important than the plan itself. And finally, I would say that put a sincere, honest effort in whatever you are doing. That should be the focus, and do not focus on the results.
Right.
Results will come.
Beautiful. That is so true. So for everyone listening out there, some beautiful messages here. Have a clear plan. When you're writing things down, you can actually know what your dreams are, what your goals are, and then don't get married to the idea that you started out with, right? That's what I personally believe in, that if you get too attached to what you thought initially, you will not be able to then adapt to your circumstances or how the life is taking you. So that's lovely. So before we get into our rapid fire section, why don't you tell the audiences what should they expect from Mosaic?
So you are asking me to not to talk to you, but talk to your viewers, right?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
All right. So thank you for watching, and thank you to Shalima for giving me this opportunity. We in Open Stage are excited for this next production, Mosaic, celebrating theatre. What we are doing is that we have these 4 short plays in English, directed by 4 different directors from very different background. I hope that you will support us by gracing the occasion. What I can promise you in return is that you will have an evening to remember. If you love theatre, you will remember this evening for a very long time. See you there.
And at that, we will start our rapid fire questions, okay? What's your favorite pastime?
Taking a walk with my wife.
Lovely. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Okay. Reading or watching a film?
Reading.
Favorite quote? Anything at the top of your head?
Try harder.
Ooh, nice. Okay. That's short and sweet. Favorite film?
Okay. Difficult one.
I know.
Mr. and Mrs. Iyer.
Oh, nice. Okay. And a favorite work of theatre piece? Your own or somebody else's?
My own?
Sure, your own. Why not?
Mili, close to heart.
Lovely.
Jagannath. It's a Bengali theatre that I had seen, 20 years back. Still haunts me.
Oh, okay. And favorite food?
Home food.
Oh, nice. And we have Vatan Se who's presenting this show. So they say best food is home food and second best is Vatan Se. So next time when Moshmi doesn't want to cook, you can go to Vatan Se, right?
Actually, I watched the episode and I am going to visit Vatan Se with family.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. That's wonderful. Okay, and your favorite country?
Singapore.
Favorite cuisine?
Indian.
Nice. And your personal favorite performance of yours?
I should not be answering this. Somebody else should answer.
No,
But my personal listing, if you ask me, it was Open Stage production Masrayana in 2010.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you were acting in it?
I was acting in it.
Lovely. And is this on YouTube?
It is on YouTube, yes.
Great. So we'll probably link that up as well. Let people go watch it.
Sure. It's a full-length play.
Nice.
So I should caution you on that. But yes, it's on YouTube.
It was lovely conversing with you. Thank you so much for coming over. And for everyone watching, grab your tickets right now for Mosaic, an open stage production happening from 25th to 28th at Drama Center Black Box. Am I right?
That's correct.
Okay, wonderful. And to all of you there, if you already haven't, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on all our social media handles. Write in the comments and let us know what inspired you about this interview. What did you like? Leave us a comment and who would you like to see next on that couch? If it's you, why not? Share your name with us and we'll interview you. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate your support and thank you for getting inspired because now you will make things happen. All right, signing off, Shalima Motial. Thank you so much. I have a little surprise for our audience there. You're an actor, so little challenge for you. We have these special pans from Vatan Se and I want you to eat this in a typical actor style. How would you do that? Here.
All right. ओ खाई के पान बनारसी वाला.
And the pan's yummy, isn't it?
It is.
Nice.
It was distracting me as an actor.
All right, I'm going to have one too.
रसवाला हो ओ खाई के पान बनारस वाला खुल जाए बंद अकल का ताला फिर तो ऐसा कमाल सीधी कर दे सबकी चाल ओ गोरा
छोरा
वाला हो छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला हो